So just minutes ago, if not seconds ago, right? Brother Costana mentioned something which is really, really good, right? And I thought, you know what, I'm going to just stop by. I was driving, so I just stopped my car and I said, right, you know what, I'm going to say something about this, right? So he talked about BRC20, which is currently worth nothing. Now, I want you to understand something about BRC20 tokens, or inscriptions as they're called, right? And it doesn't matter which blockchain it is, right? They're all kind of relevant in a way. And let me explain this, right? When you're inscribing something, like for example in the Bitcoin, so let's just stick around with Bitcoin, right? When you're inscribing something on the Bitcoin blockchain, you're literally inscribing it on a single Satoshi, right? So right now, yeah, they do nothing, right? They were probably worth absolutely zero. And when you're inscribing something, whether it's an image, an audio, or some writing or whatever, you are literally inscribing it into that actual Satoshi, right? And into that block itself. Now, that may look like nothing right now, but I can assure you in the future, there is actual value to this because it's actually inscribed into the Satoshi. Remember, we can programmatically write stuff and put stuff into BTC. In fact, many of you guys who know about BTC, you should know that the first ever person to inscribe something into the blockchain was during the Genesis block, right? When BTC was first available, the first mining, or when it became available, it had the New York Times newspaper inscribed into the blockchain, right? So a lot of you guys don't know this, right? And it had the actual date, the 9th of January 2009, inscribed into that. So think about that. It was already done. So inscription is nothing new. It's already there. That was the date when it was established as the Genesis block, right? So similar way, when we're inscribing certain things right now, maybe a lot of people don't see value to this, but what you have to understand is those Satoshis are only inscribed, right? Means you can't trade those Satoshis right now. Right, let's put it this way, you can't trade those Satoshis right now. And let's just be a little bit hyper optimistic, right? And think about it this way. In the future, everybody buys up every single BTC, right? You know, we're 100 years down the line, or maybe even 20 years down the line, right? Everyone bought up every single BTC that's available. Or let's just say something more hyper optimistic, right? One BTC is worth $1 million right now. A BTC is worth $1 million right now, which is brilliant. But remember this, we had some inscriptions in the past, right? So if we'd made some inscriptions today, 20 years down the line, those inscriptions are still there, right? So the market could be whatever it wants to be, right? And of course, all my crypto, my BTC, my holdings are relevant to whatever the market price is at that time in the future. But those inscriptions were done on a specific block, on a specific date, and they have their own value. So now I could go in and someone wants to buy an inscription and one Satoshi is worth like $1,000 for the sake of this video, right? And sell it for $100 if you want it. Do you see what I mean? Because you're owning a part of that actual block, right? So maybe right now they're not worth anything, but in the future, believe me, they will be worth something, right? So inscriptions are quite fascinating. And of course, a lot of other blockchains have figured out how to do it as well. You're basically just inscribing something into the block. So that's what it is. And then you're doing it based on, like, honest Bitcoin is much more better because you're doing it in the actual Satoshi itself, right? So you're inscribing it into the Satoshi, whether you have 10,000 Satoshis or 1,000,000 Satoshis, doesn't matter. It's inside the Satoshi. And when it comes to Ethereum and this and that, it gets a little bit more complicated. The reason is, yes, you can do it, and you're going to be doing it on a way. Problem is because they're inflationary, causes a bit of a problem. I know the arguments there, yeah, we're burning and we're becoming more deflation. Yes, we are definitely becoming more and more deflationary, but we haven't gone complete deflationary yet, guys. Please understand this, right? So until we do, let's not even go down that route, right? But BTC, right, is technically, you know, inflationary, and at the same time, you know, it's a fixed supply. There's never going to be any more. So in that theory, it is kind of deflationary, means the supply is definitely deflationary, okay? So that gives us some opportunities. And of course, when BTC starts moving at a particular price, or things happen, and a lot more possibilities are in BTC than anything else, when that starts to happen, you will see how the inscriptions, or those BRC20 or whatever you want to call it, how they become a little bit more valuable at some stage, right? For example, on Ethereum right now, and I just want to add this on there, And it works with any blockchain, by the way. Any EVM compatible blockchain is the same rules, right? So Ethereum, someone created the 404 meta, right? So it's called the EIP 404, whatever they want to call it, right? ERC 404. Now, it's an unofficial thing that they've done, but that's picked up momentum. Of course, now that it's picked up momentum, a lot of people are going to start working on it and trying to work on how to secure it. Maybe the first ones were just complete mess, maybe experimental. A lot of people are going to probably lose a lot of money, but doesn't matter. Remember, I talk about narratives, right? That's coming as well. Now, if they can take a non-fungible token, connect it with a fungible token, and have this feature where when you buy, you get you automatically mint a NFT, and when you sell the NFT or when you sell the token, it destroys the NFT, is brilliant function, right? Similar way, we may see something coming to BTC in the future, right? Remember, BTC, there's a group of people out there who are already working on how to build smart contracts on Bitcoin. And remember, that function of smart contract or smart contractability, whatever you want to call it, technically was always there, right? But because of the block size and because of the limitations, it wasn't able to be done. However, with the invention of Taproot, with the invention of the Litecoin, the Lightning Network, right, which works on a parallel chain and then reconnects everything at the later stage when it needs to confirm the block, it then puts it back into the block, right? That allows us to do anything out of the block and then bring it back to the block with a lower memory and then just continue. You see what I mean? So the technology is moving. It's just a matter of taking the theories that one could have and implementing them into the technology, and that's it. So the layers there, all the technology is there, guys. Remember, software is brilliant, right? Software is brilliant. So other than that, I don't want to make this video any longer. I just thought it was going to be a brilliant information for other people to also understand as well. That, guys, BRC20 right now may be worth fuck all, right? Worth nothing at all, right? They're just a gimmick, right? But in the future, they're going to be worth something, at least in my opinion. And just so you know, it can be done on many blockchains. It's not just one, pretty much all blockchains. And the technology is moving forward. There will be some use case for it at some stage later. Like we have for NFTs, there was no use case for it. It's just a bloody JPEG. But that's evolved to the point where now it actually has a use case. It can actually be traded with tokenization, right? But not just any tokenization like some of the exchanges have done. They've created index funds. Complete scam, in my opinion. This is more real, right? When you've got the ERC 404, that's more real to me than anything else. That makes the NFT more legit. That means when you're owning that art, you're not just owning art, you're owning currency. Now you can put your safety, your deposits or your savings, whatever you want, and you can hodl this, and you know that at later stage you can sell it, right? That changes everything, right? Because it's limited supply. Yes, it's on an unlimited supply blockchain, but it's a limited supply and it's deflationary in a sense, right? Or not exactly deflationary, but there is going to be supply and demand based on what use cases people come up with. So the future is bright, and I embrace the future. So let's see what happens with that. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, and let me catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.